Living in the Philippines offers unique opportunity to succeed in a way that feels natural and relaxed, without a constant pressure to hustle or compete. The culture here values connection, simplicity, and community, which means you don't have to chase success in the traditional sense. Instead, you can thrive by embracing the slower pace of life, building genuine relationships, and appreciating the small things, everyday moments that makes life special. It's all about finding balance and allowing things to unfold at their own pace, rather than pushing yourself to meet external expectations. So, how do you succeed in the Philippines without really trying? It's simpler than it sounds. It's about being present in that moment, staying true to yourself, and letting life flow. Personally, for me, success isn't just about what you do or what you have, but about who you are and how you connect with others. Whether it's sharing a hearty meal with friends, enjoying a quiet evening with a family, or simply taking time to appreciate the natural beauty around me. The key is to be present in the moment. I believe that finding balance, letting things unfold naturally, and staying true to yourself, you create a life that feels rewarding without the need to chase anything. The emphasis here is on living in a harmony with the flow of life rather than forcing yourself to meet external expectations or constantly pushing yourself toward the next big goal. Let's get everything straight. Let me ask you one question, or should I say questions? Why do you want to travel in the Philippines? Really? When you got everything in the West, you are comfortable there, you are comfortable already. Why would you live in a country that is unfamiliar? It is about the cost of living, the beautiful scenery, or could it be the beautiful Filipinas? Or maybe you don't like the way how things turn in your own country, and so you've decided to explore the Philippines. Are you aware of setbacks? Do you have expectations in mind from your daily life, relationship, and how you would like everything to go according to your plan and expectations? All these things. If you know all this, then congratulations. If you are not, then you have to watch until the end of this video. Now let's talk about the positive side of living in the Philippines. When you land your feet in the Filipino's hometown, it's very common to see everyone smiling at you. As an expat, you would probably think, does she like me? Well, she's a cute petite Filipina. Can I ask her contact? Oh, come on, don't be too straight because having that wide smile in our faces is very normal. One of the most commonly praised aspects of living in the Philippines is the kindness and warmth of the people. Filipinos are known for their friendliness, hospitality, and generosity. Whether you're a local or a foreigner, you'll often be welcomed with open arms into communities and friendships. In Tagalog, we call that barkada, a close friend of groups which are highly valued. And once you become part of this group, you can expect a sense of belonging and support, which is actually helpful, especially if you are seeking a more than friendship relationship. Maybe a friend to a friend works really better when it comes to dating here in the Philippines. Next, let's talk about how affordable the cost of living compared to many Western countries. The cost of living in the Philippines can be significantly lower, especially in smaller cities or rural areas. Housing, food, transportation, and other basic expenses are often much more affordable. For a foreigner, this can mean the ability to live comfortable without breaking their wallet. Street food, local markets, and public transportation make it easy to live frugally without sacrificing too much. To give you a quick summary of the main expenses, A one-bedroom apartment in Metro Manila, especially in BGC, one of the safest, convenient city in the Philippines, would cost you around 450 to 700 bucks a month. While in other cities like Cebu, a place where I live, depending on location and apartment type, it would cost you around 90 to $450 a month. Of course, basic utilities like water, electricity, are not included, including the internet. But it would probably cost you 50 to $90, which is not that bad. Your food and groceries, transportation, entertainment, healthcare, miscellaneous is not included. However, as a Filipina, I have noticed that Metro Manila has been land of expat because of not so far lifestyle from Western country. It's very accessible from amenities, huge infrastructure. You would say, I am fine living here, but why don't you land in Cebu instead? Maybe something is waiting for you here. I mean, Manila is just too crowded with a population of 14,942,000 compared to Cebu that has less than a million. A Central Visayas offer different spots for expats, and for sure, you'd have so much fun. And I'm not telling you that Manila is no fun at all, because living in the Philippines is more fun. When it comes to expenses, Cebu is lesser. The expenses might be different, but your experience will be the same. So choose wisely. When you're renting an apartment here in the Philippines, book online, look online and compare their prices so that you could stay and enjoy. Next is the beautiful natural scenery. The Philippines is famous for its stunning natural beauty. Pristine beaches, lush mountains, clear lakes, and vibrant coral reefs. Whether you're in a bustling city like Manila or a more remote area like Palawan, you'll never too far from incredible natural experience. Outdoor activities like hiking, snorkeling, surfing, and diving are part of the everyday lifestyle. Many expats and locals alike find peace in the Philippines with a natural landscape. However, doing these things alone is quite interesting. I mean, I have no problem with solo travelers, but exploring the Philippines with your partner is way more better. This is where dating comes in. Dating in the Philippines is not easy, but it's not that hard either. If you're an adventurous person, I suggest to keep exploring, make new friends, and whenever new, you would meet somebody along with your travel, which is a soon to be your Filipino partner. To attract a Filipina, you have to be interesting and a person who go out on his comfort zone, exploring new things is very attractive on us. Philippines is a beautiful country. You could eat different foods locally and internationally. Explore different islands like go surfing and island hopping in Siargao. Visit beaches, lagoon diving in Palawan, waterfalls, mountain views in Cebu, museum, volcanic landscape, and hot springs in Camiguin. At, of course, in a lowest price. You could do a lot of stuff here. However, nobody told you about the drawbacks, the negative experiences that you need to be aware of. A reality check, which is very important. This is the side truth of the Philippines, and you must know this. One of the most significant downsides to live in urban areas like Manila and Cebu is the terrible traffic. The city's road can be packed with vehicles for hours on end, especially during rush hour, leading to a long commute times, frustration, and sometimes missed appointments. Even smaller cities are beginning to experience growing traffic issues as population density increases. If you're not used to this, it can be overwhelming and you might need to adjust your patience a little bit higher. Traffic is especially bad during rush hour, typically from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. During these times, the streets can be packed with commuters trying to get to from work. The result is long, slow moving traffic, and that can at least last how many hours? The traffic in Manila is often very unpredictable. Accidents, poorly managed traffic flow, or unexpected road closures can cause sudden delays. Traffic lights and signs aren't always obeyed, and you might witness drivers cutting lanes, illegal parking, and unregulated U turns, all of which further contribute to congestion. While there are traffic enforcers, the enforcement of traffic rules can sometimes be inconsistent, which allows bad driving and behavior to persist. This can make an already chaotic situation even worse. While in some area of the Philippines have modern, well-maintained infrastructure, others can be lacking basic amenities. In rural or less developed areas, electricity may go out unexpectedly. If you're living in a more provincial area, be prepared for occasional blackouts. This can affect everything from your ability to work, access to the internet, and even basic things like food storage. It's a good idea to have backup power like generators, power banks, or solar power devices if you're in an area that is prone to frequent outages. Next is the water supply, which can be unreliable. While larger cities usually have stable and consistent supply of water, smaller provinces, communities may experience irregular water availability. In some areas, water may only be available for a few hours a day, leaving residents to store water in tanks or large container for later use. However, based on experience, well, it doesn't happen much often. And lastly, the internet. Speeds might be slow, which can be frustrating sometimes. But then again, you're in the Philippines. You might need to invest a better internet provider to have stable connection. I personally really wanted to address. This happened not just in the city, but also almost areas in the Philippines, inconsistent of waste collection. In some areas, waste collection services are irregular or non existent, and garbage can pile up in the streets or in public spaces. In rural towns, waste management services may be underdeveloped, and many places lack the proper infrastructure for recycling or proper disposal of waste that results flooding during the rainy season. It accumulates many trash in the streets, leading to environmental and health concerns, which is not healthy for you. In major cities like Manila, air pollution is a growing concern, especially in a highly industrialized areas. Respiratory issues are not uncommon, and the public healthcare system, while improving, can sometimes be overcrowded or underfunded. Philippines has a growing economy. There are still significant issues related to poverty, income inequality, and lack of access to basic services. Many parts of the country, especially rural areas, still struggle with the lack of education, healthcare, and employment opportunities, while this is not always immediately visible in the more touristy or urban areas. It's reality for millions of Filipinos. When you walk down the street, you would see kids, homeless families starving. One experience I will never forget is that when you are sick and you've got no money, the hospital will never take good care of you. You will have less treatment. So if you have medical condition, take good care of yourselves. You have that access to a better treatment in your own country. At least not the same with the Philippines. Lastly, I would count the loud neighborhood. Dogs are barking and you have no choice but to force yourself to sleep and get that rest. Filipinos love karaoke and they will sing for how many hours. It's fun at first, but if you are tired from work or something, it can be frustrating. But at least Filipinos really sang well. But really, if you're living in a city, this is not an issue at all. You have very close space and you will never hear anything from the outside. And for sure, you can rest really well. I've lived in both province close to the city and in big city currently. And now I am based in Cebu. From what I've noticed, life in the big city Feels like everyone is always moving, except for the traffic, which definitely moves at its own slow pace. Living in the city means higher expenses. Right now, I'm renting a studio apartment for around 10,000 pesos, which is about 172 bucks, and my utilities cost me around 4,500 peso, roughly $80. In a smaller city and province of Cebu, you could cover all your expenses with about $200 a month. The environment is also a big difference. The province has a slower, quieter pace and it's less polluted, but access to hospitals and other services is limited. You'll only find that kind of infrastructure in the bigger cities. I watched a YouTube video from a foreigner living in the BGC, and he said that to live a comfortable in the Philippines, you need to at least 2,000 a month. It's not that lifestyle of a king, but he mentioned that with that kind of budget, you can do really well. Of course, it depends on you how much you need and how would you adjust to the local lifestyle. If you're planning to move here and live like a local, it's a good idea to spend some time visiting and observing before making any big decisions, especially before selling everything back home. One thing to be cautious about is the potential for addiction to certain things like gambling or the woman, which could seriously drain your finances. If you're not careful with how you spend, you will end up broke. With that being said, being a foreigner in the Philippines can also be an advantage. Whether you're in a business or tourism, having international connections or skills, the Filipino values can make it easier to find opportunities and even succeed with less effort. People here are often eager to help foreigners settle in and offer opportunities simply because of your backgrounds. So while the cost of living and lifestyle can vary, it's all about how you adapt and how wisely you manage your time and money. If you're patient, flexible, and open minded, the Philippines can be a truly rewarding place to live, almost like an adventure. Many people find that the warmth of the community, breathtaking landscapes, and the chance to live to a simpler, slower paced life make the challenges much easier to handle. The trick is to embrace the local culture, go with the flow, and be okay with things not always going according to the plan. When you're open to the quirks and rhythms of life here, it becomes much easier to enjoy everything the Philippines has to offer. That's all what I got you for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you would be updated to my next upload. See you there, folks.